Our next speaker for this first session is Renee Main. And Renee is going to share her story with you, a story of how one girl, perhaps just like any of you, went from being beaten and abused, I hope not, and working 3 jobs just to escape her life. Renee's story will reveal how she moved from a life of fear to becoming a happy, confident and fulfilled person. Renee is sharing her personal experience with you today, confident that her 3-step process will help you also live a wholehearted and wide-awake life. Please welcome to the stage Renee. Thank you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved
Hey.
a wretch like me.
Okay, what I want you to do is just close your eyes for a second and come into the space. There's heaps going on out there, and I just want to give you guys permission to come in, and I want to ask you to come away with me. We've all had that time in our life where we've been lost and we're searching. And sometimes we can change our life, but we can still be judgmental, angry, bitter and resentful. Today I really want to explore a possibility of how we can live wholeheartedly, love wildly, and live life wide awake. I have a little gift for all of you. I have a book at the back of the room, so on your way out, be sure to get one. I'm going to give away one of my new activation journals as well, so if you want to pop your business card or write your name and email, there's a glass bowl at the back. And I really want to just say thank you to Shane, because he's done such an amazing job with the AV this weekend, and Mick Russell, who is the most awesome video guy in Melbourne. So thank you. If we are exactly where we're meant to be, if everything that has gone wrong and right has brought us here to this very moment, I don't know about you, but do you sometimes think that, man, I must have been sent from the highest form of intelligence known to man? Because you go, really? Really? Enough. Enough already. I just want smooth sailing. But the misfits, the rebels, the people who felt like they didn't belong, like they never fit in, the game changers, the innovators, the healers, the dreamers, we're the torch. We light this place up. You are the torch. But where there is light, there is always the potential of darkness. And it is through our darkness that we become light. She's going somewhere. This one, they said. She is going to be on screens and on Broadway. This one, they said. She is going to be famous. This one, they said. And pretty soon, it turned into, don't go out there, they said. You'll only get hurt, they said. Don't tell anyone, they said. No one wants to hear about your drama, they said. To that little girl the younger me, I say, I wish I could tell you that it gets easier, but it doesn't. I wish I could tell you that it doesn't impact your life, but it does. I wish I could tell you that everything rolls out exactly the way it's supposed to, but it doesn't. But what you see as a wall, you will eventually see as a doorway. The blows to the face, the punches in the stomach, the being slapped, the being thrown from room to room, the fear, the tears, the shame, had nothing on the silence. I've been beaten so many times, and all I used to say to myself was, Renee, just get back up. All you ever have to do is get back up. It's human nature that we want to fix everything, that we want to restore everything. How many times have you said or have you heard someone say, I just want things the way they were? Once you've been broken, you will never be the same again. That's the point. One day I was beaten so badly that it was impossible to get put back together. What if we smashed and continue to smash all the boundaries until all that was left was the real you, the real me, without all the conditions, all the stories, all the beliefs, just us, raw, vulnerable, and beautiful, feeling like we've never felt before. They say change your story, but for me, and we all have our experience, our stuff and our darkness. So no matter what that looks like to you, I don't know about you, but when you say change your story, I think it's an illusion and a fairy tale. Being beaten to the point where I thought I was going to die, the bruises, that was not an illusion, and it was definitely no fairy tale. It's not a story. It is an experience I had, and one that was about to change. It's having the ability to work through our mess, because it will eventually become your message. We often hear 5 simple things when we speak about domestic violence, and that's why doesn't she just leave? It's a valid question. It's one that I've asked myself numerous times. It's the same one I asked my mother. Only this time, I know the answer. Because the fear, the shame, the embarrassment, it fills every inch of your soul, your mind, and your spirit. You don't know what the other side looks like. You don't know any other way. Depending on the day, it could be a threat against your life or theirs if you leave. But why does this happen? Why do women find ourselves in this situation? It can vary so much. My parents separated when we were young. I didn't know what love looked like. Pretty soon she entered into a violent relationship. And the silence just continued. We lived this silent life that no one knew. We watched her get beaten, and when he'd had enough of her, he would abuse us. The silence went on, so did the threats. I understand the question, because I couldn't understand why my mother would put up with this, not only for herself, but for her kids. Family violence is so deeply seated, and the effect that it can have on children is deadly. And when it's not, it can take a lifetime to heal. And our experience, your experience, these feelings, they just pop up. And when you least expect it, you know? So you can change your life, but it can still have power over you. Pretty soon, I entered into a relationship and I attracted a man, and it was the exact same violent relationship I thought I had escaped. The silence continued once again. The beatings hurt, but nothing hurt more than the shame and the embarrassment that I felt. I was scared to leave and I was scared to stay. I knew that he couldn't control his anger, so every day I prayed. I prayed that no one had made him angry because otherwise I would pay. Until one day I had enough, so I tried to break up with him. And he came towards me where I was sitting down. He grabbed me by the throat and lifted me into the air by the throat. And he was squeezing and squeezing. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was going to die. But the universe had other plans. My roommate at the time, she was at work, not due back for hours, and she walked through the gate. And he dropped me, and I fell to the floor, and I cried in the fetal position for I don't know how long, felt like hours. But I got up and I wrote the words, "I need to break the cycle and stop the war because I've had enough. This cannot happen anymore." I didn't leave. I didn't leave. We see the good in people and we think if we can just bring out that good side, the bad side will disappear. But it doesn't. No one comes to your rescue. No one has the ability to look into your eyes and see what's going on as much as you long for them to. One night he didn't come home, and I knew it was now or never. And in that moment, I had this sense of knowing. I didn't think. I knew that now was the time. So I packed a small suitcase of stuff, and I left all my stuff, all my money. I had worked 3 jobs for 3 years. I left everything. I had nothing. But I felt like the richest girl in the world. And it was tough because I had to start again. But for the first time in my life, I could feel like I could breathe. I was 21. I felt like I'd lived 1,000 lives. It's the cycle of once you go home, nothing will change unless you take action and you be brave and you create your own journey and you surround yourself with people who make you feel good. They pep you up and they don't bring you down. And you do this and you get to live. And just imagine the possibility. We can do anything. Anything. And life goes on. And I change my life. I smell their cologne and I hear a song and it takes me back. It takes me back there like it was yesterday. And I need to do something about this because the emptiness that I feel. And when you stop and you look around, there is so much love and beauty. And in the richness of now, we don't yearn for anything. So don't worry about what happened yesterday. Don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. Just reclaim your power within. Feel that connection and move in the direction that makes you happy. Because this anger, you know, when you're so angry and you're so mad, I was filled with rage. And what was I supposed to do with it? No one tells you what to do with it. I wanted to scream, I wanted to yell, I wanted to hurt somebody because I was just a girl. I was just a young girl. What is wrong with people? But I can't speak and I can't breathe because of the shame. Oh my God, I am ashamed. And I don't know who I hate more, them for doing it to me or me for allowing it to happen. And I realise when I stop, I was never afraid of the next beating. I was afraid of me living this life forever and not the one I dreamed about when I was a little girl. I need to change this because I am enough. I can't do this. They still have this hold on me. And I breathe. And I realise that when I smell their cologne and I hear that song, I can stop and I can say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I stop and I give love to myself and I send out love to the world because there is breathtaking beauty all around us. I'm free. I'm really free. And there is something grand and something great in everything I do. And it fills my soul. And it fuels my passion to make a difference in the world. Because the world can still know my name. It's not too late. And everything is amplified now. And I felt like I have never felt before because I am enough. It's tapping into who you really are and understanding that the more acts of self-love you can give yourself, the more opportunities that come your way. I promise you that. That's what it's all about. That's what we do. For me, once I did this and I got this, like really got it, I attracted the most amazing man. And his love, his compassion, his support is unwavering. And he's sexy. Like, who knew that people like this existed? I had so much baggage, and every day he helped me unpack. It's really hard to know what's on the other side when you're getting beaten or when you're hurt and you're in that darkness. But for me, it was finding love that I'd only read about. And 17 years later, I love him more today than ever before. We have 2 beautiful girls. I have a successful business that I love. I get to teach people powerful solutions and practical ways to make money and create a life that they love and a business that fuels their soul. I am surrounded by the most amazing people. And I even found forgiveness because I wouldn't change a thing, not one beating. It brought me to exactly where I'm meant to be. And I know that every piece, every choice, every decision, every action is a piece to the puzzle. And it's being rolled out like the best movie I've ever seen, and I'm the director. It was one step and one thought, one action. That's all it ever took. One thought, one step, and one action. How cool is that? Living the life that you crave is an ongoing process. And it constantly changes. When I gave birth to my children, I lost a piece of myself. And I also found a piece of myself. And it was the beginning of this unfolding that just left me with profound love and gratitude for all that is. And I look at the people who are in my life, who I constantly attract these amazing people. And it just leaves me with love and just excited and enjoying the new air that fills my lungs. It's the merging of being and becoming that brings us to a space of wonderment. I know that those little nudges along the way, those little messages, I know that they brought me to exactly where I'm meant to be. But if I wasn't open to hearing these messages and feeling these feelings and trusting the way it comes out, I'd just be a shadow of who I am. And at times, I feel foreign in my own body, and I'm surprised about what escapes my lips. But there's always this sense of coming home. I'm home. Home is where the heart is. We spend our whole life searching for a place, a thing, something else that is outside of us, when all we ever have to do is come home. Once you remove all the stories around I am, all that remains is I am. And that is all you ever need. You know, when I told you that time when I was beaten so badly and I thought I was going to die, I was so broken, I couldn't get put back together. That's the point. Smash all the pieces. Continue to smash all the pieces until all that's left is the real you, the real me. Allow yourself to be yourself, and you will find that inner sense of peace and that freedom and that ability to change your life. For years, I looked at that girl as weak, powerless, undeserving, unworthy. The story we tell ourselves can be destructive. When I look back now, I look at that girl and I think, you are strong. You are powerful. You are brave. And you have courage. And you are so full of love. You believed in love so much. You were willing to do anything. My abusers showed me the love that I wasn't giving to myself. The lack of certainty and worthiness that I had within me. And when you just come out of the dark, that's a very hard lesson to learn. You don't want to hear that. But years later, you learn this, and that's what sets you free. Years ago, I was giving this presentation at this event, right? And I was telling them how the world can be brutal and we need to stick together because business is tough, right? And we all need to stay strong, so we all need to stay together. And I was telling them stories about things that people had said to me over my time in business. And I said, I was giving them examples, and one of them was, why would you be in business? There are heaps more intelligent women in the world, and you're not one of them, and they all fail. Thanks, Dad. You're in business. You have a business. Shouldn't you put your family and kids first? Is that even a job? Really? Because how does a bra queen make money? She becomes Australia's largest leading lingerie resource. That's how. She works with some of Australia's largest leading companies. That's how. She becomes a guide. It's more than a coach, more than a mentor. I'm a companion. I am a cheerleader and a challenger. That's what I am. But I realise now, all those questions, it's a mirror. They were just questions I was asking myself. I have a dream. I am living the dream. I am the dream. I am. This is it. This time I know it's the real thing. Thank you so much. I am Renee Main, and let's continue this journey together. Don't forget your books on the way out, okay? Thank you.